So this is the lesson that I've generally called the beginner's one, that's in the booklet. Now I have the original booklet that I produced, so it's got all the corrections in, etc. And mine has still got the borders in. Yours won't have the borders in. So what I've done to make it plain is I've stuck a piece of paper underneath, on top rather. But you could trace this, if you've downloaded it, through the sheet. That's why, like that. You can just, don't you think I'll see that? No, you can't really see it, but you can just see it through. So you could use that method if you wanted to. But because I've stuck this piece of paper on so that it's blank like yours is, I can't trace it through. I have actually got to use a proper tracing method. Now it's slightly smaller than the page, just the way it is. I'm just clipping it on so it doesn't move on me. And what I've done is I've scribbled on the back with a pencil. And what I'm now going to do now is I'm going to get my chair a bit closer. That's the noise you can hear, my chair, not my body. And trace quite firmly over the top. I'm going to use this one because it's that's quite a soft pencil. So I've got a shape. Now I could show you how to set all this lettering up, but I've decided to have quite a simple lesson. So on the original one you saw, I don't know if you haven't seen the video, I'll just grab this. So this is, I don't know if you can see when you get a bit closer, you might not be able to, but there's lots of guidelines where I've drawn all this, and I've decided that this could be a mono study, as in a monochrome, no colour in it if you wanted, but equally if you want to put colour in it you can do. So this is the part where they are told, or Caesar declares that everyone's got to go and register at their town of their family's origin. So Mary and Joseph have got to do a 80-mile in biblical times trip from Nazareth, and they would have had to go up over the hills into the hills and then walk along the Jordan Valley, the River Jordan's Valley, and through towards Jerusalem, and then from Jerusalem to Bethlehem would have been the route that they would have taken. So I don't really can see, but there's kind of a tracing. So on the other lesson we look at this kind of underground map and footprints. So they would have gone Nazareth, up over the hills, through the Jordan Valley to Jerusalem, and then Bethlehem. And it says in the reading, now in those days a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be enrolled. Obviously all the Roman world. This was the first enrolment made when Quintinus was governor of Syria. All went to enroll themselves, everyone in his own city. Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, to David's city, which is called Bethlehem, because he was the house and family of David, to enrol himself with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him as wife, being pregnant. So as we look, and if you've read the reflection, it talks about there's no donkey. There might have been a donkey, but in the actual story there is no donkey. It also talks about the fact that they've got to make this journey. Excuse me, but there are no guarantees when they get there. There are no guarantees of them having a place to stay. I can't imagine being towards the end of my pregnancy, 38, 39, 40 weeks, and having to make an 80-mile journey in the car without having to need a wee. We could do it in, excuse me boys if they'll be listening, if we don't do it in a car, we could do it in an hour and a half, but this would have been a days and days of journeying, maybe on a donkey, maybe walking, carrying what they needed, stopping to rest. And even on a donkey, being pregnant isn't going to be very comfortable, because we're not talking pavements, we're not talking the beach like they often do at the seaside here in the UK, where you've got the donkeys on the beach. We're talking some rough terrain up through the hills. It would have been cold at night, warm during the day, so it's not an easy journey for them to take, even without the fact that Mary's pregnant. So we need to remember this. We need to remember that they went the extra mile for us, because had they not, wouldn't have fulfilled the prophecy, wouldn't have been the Messiah. But it's just epic, really, that journey. He would have been the Messiah, but he wouldn't have fulfilled the prophecy, because he was God's son. And underneath all this, there must have been some uncertainty still in Joseph's mind. Why is my fiance pregnant? Why? I know the angel's been to see me, but still, why? You know. So I've kind of decided that I'm going to try and use very simple things that everyone can get hold of, so not artist quality crayons. So these are Crayola pencil crayons, which I'm probably not going to use at this part of the lesson, but they're double-sided, so you get 24 colours for 12 pencils, which I think is quite good. I think they were £3. And these are Crayola marker pens, which you get 12 colours, and I don't know whether they were £3 or £4, so they're not hugely expensive. This is just a pack of Bic biros, come in all different colours. They're not much good, £3 or £4 a pack, but they're all really nice colours. So if you decide you're going to do this monochrome, so I'm quite liking the fact that I did this one purple, I might grab the purple pen. You could do it with an artist pen. You've all got an artist pen in your kit. Just use what you have. So you might want to start off by a little bit of scrap paper and looking at what you've got. So I could do it, if I want to keep the purple theme, I could do it with that. That'd be quite a nice line. And with these Crayolas, you can get a thin line from the edge, a medium line, and if you press down, you get quite a thick line. I could use the biro that I used originally, which is that kind of line. I could do it all in pencil crayon if I wanted to. That's a purple pencil crayon, coloured pencil rather, or I could do it in a black marker. The choice would be mine. So I quite like the sketchy look, so I'm going to go with the biro because that's the way I did it originally, and because that's the kind of look I wanted. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the biro in a very sketchy way, as if I'm drawing with the Bible as the biro, and it doesn't matter if it's not quite right, if that makes sense. If it's not quite on the line, just use the lines you've traced to kind of help you, and put multiple layers in like this. So obviously when I drew it originally, I was actually sketching because I had to get the text in the right place, but this is just sketching for effect. I quite like that. So this B is the fanciest. This is based on a picture that I found with an old game called The Journey to Bethlehem. Just looking at the original lines. It's called The Journey to Bethlehem, and it's got the wise men or the magi on the front, and it's got very similar lettering that I've adapted from this. Sorry, for this. So I'm making it look very sketchy. I'm not worrying about where a character's end, a letter's end. I'm just turning my book around there. Then I'm going to put my road in. And if you want your road to go off the end of the page, just do that. I'm going to put my arrows in. And my arrows are a little bit on the wonky side originally, so I've just tried to straighten them up. But again, I'm not overly worried because I want these to be sketchy as well. So a real sketchy feel for this one. Very simple. Could be done in black if you like black, but I decided I wanted to do the purple I originally did it in. Now if you look with the arrows, I'm going in the direction of either the arrow heads, which is here. I like bringing it out like so. So that it's not in any, I'm not just scribbling, I'm actually shading with a pen. That arrow's still not quite right. I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit. Yeah. And I'm trying to give the idea of, I'm just going to pop these clips off because they're catching me. Excuse me. What I'm trying to give the idea of with these lines on this path is that a sense of movement and of perspective. And both this lesson and the one that's based in the Bible, the one that looks like the underground map, they're not designed to take you too long. It's about spending time in the Word and not what the outcome is, remember. Now you might want to make the path a bit wider, depending on. So I'm going to bring it right to the edge of my page. Trying to make my lines overlap a little bit without them being too regular. And actually as things go into the distance they get darker. If you make a mistake like I've just done, just yeah. So I say as they go into the distance it gets darker. And we need the word 2 in the middle there. And just tidy your letters up. So all I'm doing is going over my letters a little bit more. So it's quite a sketchy, simple kind of journey to Bethlehem.